I was asked about kindness. So here's what's true for me, that there have been times where I've extended an invitation, kindness as an invitation through an act. It's usually how we understand it, right? Kindness for me is a principle that is part of my moral or ethical guidelines or compass. Kindness can also be part of my disposition, easygoing, a fluid, peaceful demeanor. And it also bespeaks a concern for another's well being, right? So when I engage in an act of kindness, I've experienced two versions of it: an invitation that requires no thing from the receiver and doesn't seek to impose anything, or the act of kindness that either seeks to impose, oh, you're going to recognize that I'm being kind. That's an imposition, right? Or you're going to notice my kindness, right? Or it requires, even in the imposition, it requires that you validate me. Now, again, this is just my personal experience, so this is the space from which I offer this. Act of kindness is a mental construct that precedes my behavior. So, does the behavior demonstrate concern for another? Opening the door for somebody, allowing them to come in. Now, I'm giving you the ones that I know I work with. If I'm driving and I know somebody needs to get in, I allow space for them to get in. Now, there are moments where I do both of those and I go on about my merry way. You've walked through the door. Matter of fact, 5 people have walked through the door. 2 cars have pushed their noses into the small space I provided, and I waited and kept singing what was on the radio. Then I also noticed the second version, which is, oh, you're going to notice me. So I paid for your meal at the drive-thru and you didn't flash your lights, drive up next to me, wave your hand, say thank you. See, there's something attached to my giving. Kindness shows up through our behavior, and it oftentimes speaks of concern for another. So when I hold the door for you, this is my check-in. I open the door for you. You go through. You don't wave, smile, say thank you, nada. Do I notice that? And if I notice it, do I make up something about it? If I don't make up anything about it, other than I just notice, oh, he or she or they didn't say anything, got it, and I keep on going, or do I find that now I'm attached and engaged in an internal conversation about how wrong and rude that is, which now becomes my implicit imposition. So every time I extend this act of kindness, which is supposed to be or demonstrate concern for your well-being, you're going to see me. That for me has always tainted my act of kindness. So let me make it simple. Act of kindness for me has come from 2 places. When it's fear-based, I need you to acknowledge and notice me so that I use that external validation to allow me to feel better about myself. The other one is where there's already internal validation, so it seeks nothing from you and doesn't seek to impose or hinder or demand a thing from you. So in your acts of kindness, before you attempt to support another, check in with yourself. Are you kind to you? Because you can only give to me what you offer to you. So where there may be places to be kind to yourself, do you rest? Do you create balance between work and play? Do you eat sufficiently? Do you eat the right kinds of foods? Do you honor your thoughts and your feelings? Acts of kindness. Do you demonstrate concern for yourself? Because the more that you do for you in that regard, the easier it will be to extend that to the world and then to extend it without an attachment. Just a little something for your journey. Hope it nurtures it. As always, be gentle, and in this case, be kind to yourself and others. I think Ellen says that.